Hey everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the From the Field podcast, Ziegler Ag's monthly podcast covering ag stories, equipment deals, and the latest news shaping the ag industry. I'm your host, Kodiak Schears, and I'm very excited to be back for another month of awesome content. This show is brought to you by Ziegler Ag, serving farmers across Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri. If you like the podcast and you find it valuable, I encourage you to give us a follow and share us with your friends. That will help us grow and continue to create engaging content for you, our listeners. So, without further ado, let's get rolling. Let's start by taking a couple minutes to talk about what's happening in the markets right now and what it means for growers across the Midwest. The big headline heading into the 2026 growing season is this: we're still very much in a margin management environment. Right now, corn has been trading roughly in the $4.25 to $4.60 range, which depend on locality and contract timing, according to the USDA Outlook reports. Soybeans have been hovering around $10.30 to $10.40 per bushel, while wheat markets have seen some modest support but remain influenced by global supply levels. For many operations across the Midwest, those price levels put farms pretty close to or even below break even once you factor in land costs, fertilizer, and other inputs. One thing economists are watching closely this spring is an apparent acreage shift across the Corn Belt. Early projections suggest that we may see slightly fewer corn acres and more soybeans planted in 2026, and we think this is largely because soybeans are just penciling out a little better for some operations and help balance crop rotations. Even with that shift, corn still has strong demand thanks to ethanol production and domestic feed demand, which continues to support the market. Now on the input side, there may be some relief coming. After several years of sharp increases in fertilizer and chemical costs, economists expect input prices to stabilize or increase only slightly this year, according to analysis from Iowa State University. That said, production costs are still historically high, so keeping equipment running efficiently and avoiding downtime remains extremely important. One area of agriculture that's actually performing quite well right now is livestock. If you've noticed, beef prices remain strong thanks to tight cattle supplies and steady consumer demand, according to a market report from Reuters. That strength in the cattle sector also helped support feed demand, which can indirectly benefit grain producers across the Midwest. The farms that come out ahead will be the ones that manage inputs carefully, manage grain strategically, and keep their equipment running throughout the season. So, if you'd like a consultation ahead of planting this year, give us a call and speak with the Ziegler Ag expert today, because we know better than most that uptime and service support matter when the margins get tight. Starting in March, Ziegler Ag is launching a new sweepstakes, and if you farm soybeans, you're going to want to lean in to learn about this one. We're calling it the Great Gleaner Giveaway. 2 lucky customers will be selected from all the submissions we receive, and will get a chance to run a Gleaner T71 combine from September 1st through October 15th during the 2026 harvest season. This isn't your dad's silver cedar. The Gleaner T71 is engineered for lightweight performance, superior reliability, and premium grain quality. Paired with the 9300 series Dynaflex draper head, it's built to boost uptime and efficiency with a heavy-duty reel assembly, variable speed belt, and smooth, consistent crop feeding. If you've ever wondered what a season with top-tier harvesting technology could do for your operation, this is the year to find out. Enter the Great Gleaner Giveaway and get behind the wheel of a T71 for Harvest 2026. Sign up is now live, so be sure to sign up before the deadline on August 1st. You can sign up by visiting our website at zieglerag.com or scan the QR code to enter. All right, let's jump into the main story of the month, and this one is a good one. Every year, we hold an event called Ag Tech Wars. It's an internal competition where technicians from all of our branches put their skills to the test working on large ag equipment. Now, this isn't just for bragging rights. Technicians compete for cash prizes and the opportunity to advance to the AGCO Technician of the Year competition. The competition starts with a written test, where technicians answer questions covering diagnostics, electrical systems, hydraulics, and equipment knowledge. From there, the top 2 technicians from each branch move on to the dealer level competition, and that's where things get a little bit more intense. That round includes a timed hands-on practical test where techs diagnose and solve real mechanical problems on ag equipment. It's a great way to showcase the depth of talent we have across our service teams and spur a little friendly competition along the way. I recently had a chance to visit with the 3 winners from last year's competition, and 2 of them actually come from our Wilmar branch. Here's a little bit of my conversation with those 2.
Clark Feikema. I've been with Ziegler coming up on 8 years, I think. Started in 2018 in the old shop here in Wilmar, and went into field service pretty quick after that. So.
Awesome. What inspired you to become an ag technician, or a technician in general?
Just always liked wrenching on things growing up. Didn't start out as an ag tech. I actually started out in trucking, fixing trucks.
Okay. What kind of trucks?
Started out at an international dealer. Went over to Interstate Power Systems, Detroit Diesel Allison. Got burned out on that after a while, and actually grew up in Brandon, South Dakota, down by Sioux Falls area, and had a family member that worked for AGCO, and kind of heard about their factory in Jackson through them, and went to work as one of the TSS guys at AGCO for a few years. So that kind of gave me some background and familiarity with the AGCO stuff.
Gotcha.
And
Jackson isn't too far from our Ziegler location. I think
no,
it's right across the
yep.
street, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Vent Lodge.
So had some experience with Ziegler from that, and
Nice.
And so I met my wife a little over 10 years ago, and she's from the Wilmar area originally. So moved up here, we got married, and started fixing trucks again for a little bit, which I wasn't real happy about. But you can find a job anywhere as a mechanic. So then Ziegler came to town, so I said, well, seems like a good fit.
Awesome.
So.
That's a great story. So what do you enjoy most about working on, it could be, this is kind of ag related, so it could be ag equipment, but just in equipment in general. It sounds like you're, it's a good change from working on trucks, right?
Yeah. I mean, for ag equipment specifically, I really do like the people, the best part about it. The farmers are typically speaking really good people to work with. It's nice to be able to get a little bit more of a relationship with the customers, as opposed to the construction side or trucking especially.
Yeah.
I give the guys a lot of crap, the general line guys, that fixing cat stuff is easy. They give you everything you need. You kind of gotta wing it on some of the ag stuff. Sometimes, they don't necessarily give you all the good information, and you just kind of gotta figure it out.
Sure.
But yeah, it's definitely the people, I would say.
Good. Is there a favorite piece of equipment that you really like to work on?
I like a good MT800. They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
The new fence are awesome. I like the wheel tractors. They're really awesome. The track tractors are good too, but the old MT800s.
Why is that? Is there a reason?
They're just I talked with a customer a couple years ago. He demoed a Fendt 1100, and it was an 1167, and he was demoing it against his 875C. And the 1167, it did outpull the 875. But he's like, we were sitting there in the cab, and we're cruising along, and it's just it's smooth and it's quiet, and we're talking, and it's you can have a conversation, and you can hear the radio really good,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nice. But then you get back in the 875, and it's and that's just pretty cool. So
Nice. So a little bit of a quieter ride then.
Yeah.
Good.
I enjoy working for Ziegler. I every branch has its its little things that are different about it. Wilmar's been good. I've worked a lot of places as a mechanic. I've I've worked enough places to know that I've got it pretty good here, so I try to remember that. But Ziegler treats people good.
Hunter Daisy, and I've been to Ziegler for 6.5 years.
Awesome. And what would you say inspired you to become a ag technician, or kind of what brought you here?
Well, I started off in the shop for like 2 years, and then a field spot opened up, and it just happened to be a ag field technician.
Okay.
So nothing really drove to it. It's just the opportunity that was there. Working on combines, there's something about working on combines. You get rolling to try to get a customer going, and sometimes you end up out there till 1, 2 in the morning, just trying to make sure everything's rolling so he's good to go the next day. Had multiple times of doing that.
What would you say that you enjoy most about working in the ag equipment industry?
The wide variety that we work on. I mean, there's so much differences between a wheeled machine and the tractors, combines, application equipment. Like, you still just get a really big variety of what you get to work on.
Over at our St. Cloud branch, I also got a chance to sit down with the third winner of the competition. Here's a little bit of that conversation.
I'm Tyler Hellickson. I've been with Ziegler for 9.5 years.
Okay.
2 years so far into actually working on ag equipment.
Got it. And so, I guess, as far as your time with Ziegler, was it always as a technician, or did you start with did you do any of the internship stuff with us?
No, I got hired straight on full time. Hired in Buell, working on mine equipment for 3 years. So
That must have been cool.
I rebuilt probably 10 793F haul trucks.
Wow.
Tore apart quite a few 994Ks. Stripped down a 6060 FS shuffle, two of those.
Very cool.
Worked on a lot of the big stuff. Transferred from Buell to here to St. Cloud, and I started working on the bigger construction equipment, learning everything from the skid loaders, telehandlers, to the big excavators and the 657 scrapers.
So, what would you say motivated you to participate in Ag Tech Wars this year?
I found out I was on Rogators,
Okay.
and that's like 90% of what I work on for ag. So I figured I have a pretty decent chance on doing really well, since that's all I've really worked on for ag so far.
What do you think was the hardest part of the competition?
The being timed.
Being timed?
Yeah.
I think that's the answer that I got from the other two guys too. You guys got 45 minutes, right, to diagnose the problem? And did you feel like it was a pretty straightforward process, or was it kind of like, we don't know what is going on?
I knew it was pretty straightforward because I just had an issue with a Rogator that was the same thing.
Really?
But I had 90 hours of troubleshooting with some of AGCO's engineers trying to figure out why I was doing what I was doing. And it was just a short in the harness somewhere with communication. But everything that Fendt was doing when they bugged it, my machine was doing the same thing.
And the scenario they gave you was like the customer backed into something, right? And you have to figure out why it's not working properly, right? That was the
And the one that I actually worked on was every time it rained, it would do something weird, and only one ECM would stop communicating and not all of them, and then it turned into all of them after working on it for a period of time.
It's always great to see our technicians pushing themselves and representing their branches and Ziegler as a whole. Events like this highlight the level of expertise of our service teams, and ultimately that translates into better support and faster repairs to the farmers and producers we work with. So a big thank you to the teams at Wilmar and St. Cloud for letting me come out and spend some time with them. And of course, congratulations again to all three winners. Here's a quick field deal from Ziegler Ag. Right now through March 31st, we're offering 15% off genuine AGCO parts when you schedule a preventative maintenance inspection on your equipment. This is a great opportunity to get your machines ready for planting season and save a little money while you're at it. During these inspections, our technicians take a look at critical components of your machine and provide a detailed report that includes photos, measurements, and test results. Depending on the machine, that can also include oil and coolant sampling, fault code history, and software checks to make sure everything is running the way it should before the season really gets rolling. Catching issues early can save you a lot of downtime once the planter starts moving. So if you're looking to get ahead of the rush and make sure your equipment is ready to go, now's a great time to take advantage of that 15% part savings. Give us a call at 800-352-2812 or reach out to your local Ziegler Ag dealer to schedule your inspection. All right, here's a quick update that could put some money back in producers' pockets this year. The USDA, through the Farm Service Agency, is providing $11 billion in one-time Farmer Bridge assistance payments, with another $1 billion set aside for commodities not included in the main program. These payments are designed to help farmers bridge the gap until new policy changes from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act take effect. If you filed your 2025 crop acreage report on time, the good news is that the FSA has already created a pre-filed application for you. The fastest way to submit this is online through login.gov, where you can apply and track your payment status. But you can also request your application through your local FSA office and return it in person by email, fax, or electronically. To qualify, producers must actively be engaged in farming, have risk in their crop, and have reported their 20-25 acres by December 19th, 2025. Payments are based on reported acres, not production, and cover major crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, cotton, sorghum, oats, barley, sunflowers, and more. The enrollment window runs from February 23rd through April 17th, 2026, and the USDA expects payments to start going out once applications are approved. So if you haven't checked yet, it's worth logging into login.gov or contacting your local FSA office to make sure you're enrolled. A quick heads up for anyone getting their planters or tillage equipment ready for spring. Right now, there are some additional savings available on genuine AGCO planter and tillage parts. Through March 31st, you can save 10% on parts orders placed in-store or over the phone, or 15% off if you place your order online through AGCO Parts website at parts.agcocorp.com. There's no minimum purchase required, which means whether you're replacing a few worn parts or stocking up on components before planting season, you can still take full advantage of this discount. Learn more on our promotions page at zieglerag.com. All right, before we close out today's episode, I wanted to take a moment to shout out a pretty awesome customer of ours, Brandon and Jill Marshik from Marshik Dairy. Not too long ago, one of their Caterpillar 242 skid steers went down during a busy work day on the farm. As you can imagine, when a machine like that goes down in the middle of chores, things can get backed up pretty quickly. But thanks to Ziegler's uptime commitment, within just a few hours, they had a replacement skid steer delivered to the farm, and their original machine was hauled back to the shop for repairs, at no additional cost to them. Last week, my team and I had a chance to speak with Brandon and Jill to ask them about their experience and the impact our support had on their operation. So here's a quick clip from that conversation.
Hey there, I'm Brody McCaig, Ag Team with Ziegler Ag Equipment. I'm here with some customers here and learn a little bit about them.
I'm Brandon Marshik, this is Jill Marshik. We farm 600 acres and milk 220 cows.
So what are some of the jobs on the farm that these cat skids do for you?
One of them scrapes manure all day, the other one mixes feed.
And what would be a couple attributes that attract you to the cat product for your farm?
They've always been a good skid loader, comfortable. The service has always been good if we have problems.
And as a customer of Ziegler, with our customer value agreement that you always buy, what value does that bring to you as an operator and owner?
Huge value. One breaks down, we get it one, don't have to worry.
Yeah, so can you tell us just an experience you had that CVA brought value to you on your farm?
Yeah, so one of our skid loaders had bad injectors and they brought out a demo machine and it worked out well, and here we are with 2 new ones.
Well, Brandon and Jill, I want to thank you for your continued support of Caterpillar and Ziegler and your business through the years.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to the value the program provided, Marshik Dairy ended up trading in both of their older 242s for 2 new Caterpillar 250 skid steers. And if you saw in the video, they didn't waste any time putting them to work. It's a great example of a customer taking advantage of a program designed to maximize uptime and keep their operations moving. So a special thanks to Brandon and Jill for trusting our team to support their farm and for sharing their experience with us. Well, that's going to wrap up our second episode of From the Field. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be back next month with more ag stories, equipment insights, and a pretty special interview, so definitely stay tuned. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.